welcome back to my channel, Warren Canada, and you're watching my life icons. I'm so excited because I'll be doing another first in my show, my life icons. And that first is I will be interviewing a life icon who is my classmate and friend in secondary school, my fellow Tikvosian, Miss YANI GERALLA. Hi, Annie.
Hey
Wow.
Warren!
How are you
Long time
today?
no see.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. It's hump day, so it's the middle of the week, so I'm very happy. 2 days more and it's weekend. How are you?
Okay,
How are
great.
you?
Thanks for asking. I'm so excited because finally we're doing this. And on Sunday, I can show this to my subscribers. I'm so excited. Thank you, Yan, because you did not give me a hard time to get your big yes. So
Oh,
I,
you're always welcome. My
I
pleasure.
never
My
thought
pleasure.
you're, I never thought you're comfortable with the camera and all.
I'm trying to be. I have no choice. You're my friend.
Thanks for loving me. I know you love me. That's why you can't say no.
Yes. I
Actually,
do.
Yanni, I really wanted this to be face to face, like to make it really personal. But with the current situation, which we all know, that definitely Zoom can help us connect. So it's still the same thing. We can reunite. We can have a conversation. I love your yellow dress
Oh
that
yes.
goes for this interview. I believe
Oh yes.
every fashion piece that we have, there is a story behind. Can you remember the story of that dress, Yan?
Well, the story of this dress is actually, I remember when I was a bit lonely and I knew that, yellow is the most luminous of all the colors and it's the color of happiness. I thought, okay, I should buy this one because I like the black one and it harmonized with the yellow. And I know it's the color of optimism as well. And I bought this I think I remember in Germany. And yeah, it was cheap, but I see it's very elegant and I just loved it. And I still do. That's
Thank
it.
you for sharing the story. Yes, yellow is really a happy color. It sets the tone for our conversation. Actually, Yani and I have so many denominators. One of them is we're both alumni of the home of the Tikvosians, Toledo National Vocational School, and I'm so proud of what you have achieved. Let's first go back to TNVS. You've been there, Yano, from of course we've been there from first year to fourth year, right? Because it's so hard to transfer.
Yes,
Yeah,
4 years.
because when you
Yes.
start there, you have to end there. Can you share to me maybe just two of the fondest memories? Do you think that you cannot really forget about our alma mater in
The
secondary?
fondest memory. I think that would be, on my third year when I decided to enter being an officer, and it was one of the best memories I always remember being there because, I felt being accepted, though I was the shortest student in the whole batch, and everybody would say like, "Oh yeah, you're the bunso, you're the youngest," and technically I'm the youngest anyway of all of us. And I think also another thing is that when I don't know if you remember when we go to the like lunch area at Nana Edding's shop with with all this mongo and
Yes,
all this
student food.
I know, and I still remember it's 2-3 pesos per meal. It was so cheap.
Yeah, but we had
I think
fun.
yes, we always have fun, and of course being part of the dance troupe with Miss Candilasa before, but now
Yeah.
she's Mrs. Magaso, and I just like to dance very much. And until now, I love dancing. So those are the things that I will never forget about TNVS, and all the friendship that has been going on until now. It's 21 years and it's still going on, and I'm very happy to be there and to have known those people. And of course, you're one of those. Thank you for the friendship.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you for still keeping in touch, even if we're both busy already, at least we managed to really keep in touch and to attend reunions, especially you. You're really active, so thank you very much. Going back to the high school years, I agree. You were petite. You have been always slim and slender, and I envy your figure because until now you have maintained it. You have such a strong personality. That is why you managed to be a cat officer. And speaking of Ma'am Lida, it's surreal that she's now my co-teacher. Our dance
Oh yeah.
before, our PE teacher before, and now my co-teacher.
She's such an inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for sharing our high school
Of course.
memories. After high school, you went to college, and now you're holding a very important position in a private company. Is it safe to say it's a
Yes,
private company?
it's a
How did,
private
how,
company.
how did it start? Like our second denominator, my subscribers, our second denominator is our love for the English language as a second language and our passion to train people to also appreciate and understand and to make use of the language. I, as a senior English teacher in a public school, and Yani as a general manager and an academic director of an English school. Oh my God, Yan! How did it start? How did it start? How did it start? The passion for English and the passion for educating.
Yeah.
How did it start?
I actually graduated as as education. My major is actually mathematics, but I never taught mathematics because when I started uh, teaching, I went to an English language school, which is a small one, and I started there with a very minimal salary. And even though the salary was so small, I enjoyed it very, very much. When actually English language or English as a second language industry came to the Philippines like 16 or 17 years ago. And that's the time I started. I think, no, I started when I was 20 because I graduated 19 in La Salle. And right there, I just started to teach English, and I realized this is basically what I love to do. And I speaking to other nationalities like Koreans, Japanese, and Chinese, to be able to impart our knowledge and our passion that we can actually teach English. Like Filipinos can't just speak English, but actually can teach English very well, huh? So it started there, and from there, like until now, it's nearly 20 years now. I have been teaching English, yeah, for the last 20 years of my life, and I just love it. And I still teach now, but not very, very, often. Only when there are, I don't know, when there are teachers or absent and we really lack of teachers, then that's the time I get into it because, even I'm manager now or the academic director of the school, I still love to teach. And I think I will be teaching for the rest of my life
Yes, of
because I just love it. Being able to also train people. I train the teachers here how to teach effectively and how to make your class fun and exciting for students so that they will be all engaged. And the love of teaching, I think, and the passion of teaching that actually, drives me to continue my career as a teacher. But at the same time, we don't teach students only, but we also teach people, to be like us and to be even more than us. And I'm so proud of you, actually, being our valedictorian, and later on, like, yeah, he's teaching there in our alma mater. Like, I was so proud that, well, one of us is there, and you're giving back, what you have gained, what you have learned from the school. And now, I can't be prouder enough of your achievements also are. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your knowledge to all our students. And I think some of my kids are under
yeah,
you.
my
So
daughter. Very smart, very busy. So, yes, yeah, thank you very much. It's actually a mutual feeling. Yeah, you're right. It's a different kind of happiness when you go back to your second home or school and serve and give back. You're correct. And you're very well accomplished. And I understand, especially based from your pictures in Facebook and from the stories you've shared to me, your job now has given you a lot of perks. And let me mention, you are now, I think, very well traveled. You're a jet setting diva in your
Yes.
job. But it's not only about pleasure. I want you to tell our subscribers that your travels are actually a combination of business and pleasure. Can you tell us more about it?
Oh yes, that's true. Before I came back to the Philippines, I was in Japan teaching English for 4 years, and I also belong to an association of English language schools in the Philippines that's called English Philippines, and I'm the president of the association. And I do travel a lot because of that, because I am promoting Philippines to be one of the best destinations for learning English. Maybe not one of the best, but will be the best, hopefully in the future. And before I joined this association with English language, you know, I'm working with the DOT together with them. We travel. We don't just teach English, but we also promote as a destination. As you know, Philippines is full of beautiful nature, the beaches, and all the beautiful people. Very, very We are very well known of our, hospitality, and we are one of them. And also for pleasure, I have traveled total about 23 countries now, and most of them are pleasure, but a few are, business travels, basically to promote not just our school, but to promote the country as a destination for learning English. So I am actually very proud of that, to be, to be the instrument of the Philippines to tell the world, to make noise in the English industry, that all of us here speak English, and it's very easy to get around in the Philippines because almost everybody can speak English, and the teachers are very efficient in teaching English, and we are one of them. We are ones of them, like you and me, and our co-teachers here being able to for me, being able to share our nature and our education here, which is, to be honest, a lot of people from different parts of the world appreciate it very much. Not just in Asia, but also in Europe. We have had Italian students coming. We have, people in Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, different parts of the world, really. So that's great. But of course, right now, all students have gone home because of the pandemic, but we still do through online classes. And most of our schools now are doing online. So we are still, like doing our best to have the business going and to give jobs to all our teachers, who have lost their jobs because of this pandemic. But, finally or eventually at the end of the day, we bounce back. We all bounce back. I believe that.
You know what, Yan? Hearing the scope of your responsibility as a manager, director, and also still a mentor up until now, you're like a real life beauty queen. Like you travel, you meet people,
That's
you
too much.
promote something, like you do something for the education industry. So that's like a beauty queen job. International beauty, really. And then you mentioned about the pandemic. How is the company affected? And of course, you said some of the teachers had really lost the job. But then, are you still, if everything goes back to normal, are they still going to be hired with the company? Or
Yes, they're our priorities, of course. We didn't actually, like retrench them or something, because they're willing to wait until the operation comes back.
Mm,
So we will call them right away when everything gets back to normal, like. But however, because our online is doing actually very well, so we kind of, like calling them back little by little, and now we only have a few teachers who are not working, and I think we actually allow them to do some jobs or to work in another company if they have the chance. And if they're still free and willing to come back, we are also very willing to have them back, of course, anytime. But hopefully, this crisis will end up soon. So that would be really, really good. We just have to pray continuously
yeah.
to
So despite the
really.
threat of the COVID-19, the ESL industry is still really very much alive.
It's still doing, yes, not as, of course, obviously not as the same as before, because we don't have the students physically, so we still teach online, and we still have our, like our clients from different parts of the world. Most of the schools, like I said earlier, doing online, and that's the best thing for now. And hopefully in the, I think, mid next year, hopefully we can have them back, when flights are on, or when the restrictions are hopefully gonna be lifted up. So
Correct. And
that's
yes,
what we
for
hope.
for those for those viewers of this episode, of course, who are interested to reach out to your school or to reach out to you. So what's the name of the school? What's the contact information?
They can always search it online, because we have a website. It's called Idea English Services and Incorporated, or they can also just search Idea Education. We used to have two campuses, but because of the pandemic, we basically, split up, and we do online, like I said. And if they, Filipinos who would like to learn English, we can also offer them different courses that would fit their needs, and to cater their needs, of course. And yeah, for me, it's called Idea. If you don't have any idea, just search it on the internet, and it will give you
That's
idea.
the Idea website, right?
Idea
It's
education.
your
Yes,
website, right? Yes.
yes, yes.
So they can learn everything. All the details are there in the website.
Yes, and
Right.
hopefully when we, for all the teachers out there, when everything gets back, and if you need some job, and if we need teachers, please feel free to come and apply in our company.
How do you? I know you're very busy. You're holding a very high-ranking position, so you have lots of responsibilities. But I understand you still manage to go home every weekend to your home barangay. Lotopan,
In
Lotopan.
Puog, yeah, Puog,
Um,
Lutupan, yes.
Puog. Sorry, it's Puog, but it's near Lotopan.
That's okay.
But it's really special Puog. But you still manage to go home every weekend, take care of your kids. After four children, right? You have four children.
Three, 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 three.
After three children, and after so many relationships, playing, marriage, serious relationship. What have you learned about being a wife and being a mother at this point in your life?
I think the very best thing, like the best thing that I've learned is to be strong. It's not a very, expensive word, but it's, for me, the most important word that I have to instill in my mind every second of my life, because being strong and being brave of all, the trials that comes to our way, all the tribulations, no matter what. As a mother, I make a point that my kids are in good health, and like with all the experience that we have had in the past, they don't have a perfect or complete family, but I can see that my kids are very happy, and that's, I think, ultimate happiness to me, when I see my kids happy, my mom happy, like my whole family is happy. With relationships, I learned that I should not settle for less, because I know my worth. So for me, I have to love myself above all. Of course, next to God, we all love God above all things. And next is ourselves, because yeah, that's a fact that we cannot share love if we don't have love for ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yes, and I think last thing, or the most important thing that I've learned from marriages, that marriages are important. However, it could be also just like a paper. The most important thing is you love each other. You don't have to get married to live together for the rest of your life. But I am not against people who are into marriage, yes. And I'm happy for those who have a happy marriage. And I wish them all the best. And for me, I'm just happy now being single and being able to, like be the model maybe of all those single mothers there out there that being single mom is not a hindrance to be beautiful and to to be a great mom to your kids. And
Exactly.
that's something that I have to learn: being strong, being brave, and being loving to myself and to others, of course.
Exactly. You have accomplished so much. It will make up for whatever you lack. Even
You
if
too.
yeah, but it doesn't show. I mean, being a mother has its stressors, not to mention the stressors that you have in your job, but it doesn't show. I know we're both 40, right? Are you 40, 41?
I will be 40 next month. I'm the youngest of the
Like, you
batch.
look 40, but it doesn't show. You look like 20 something. It doesn't show. You're pretty, you're so fit. So I'm sure my subscribers would like to know your beauty, your fitness, regimen. How do you
Yeah.
stay really fit and still really young looking?
Well, first of all, like I said, the love of ourselves. So one of the things is to eat healthy. I make sure that I balance, the oily and non-oily. Most of the times, I don't eat a lot of oily food because, that's basically not very healthy, as we all know. And I learned to love vegetables, the green ones, and I don't think there is something that I don't eat in, with vegetable wise. I eat all vegetables, and I don't exercise. I promise. I don't go to gym, but I try to walk as much as I can. If you can walk, why not? I don't use the elevators. That's being lazy. So I walk the stairs. And in fact, when we were still on the 16th floor of Gagfa Tower before, I used to walk from ground floor to 16th floor. Walking is the best exercise. And good sleep, of course. For our age, 7 is already enough, but it would be nice if you can make it 8
Mm-hmm.
hours. And of course, last thing, don't sweat on small stuff. Because, I don't, like you have a lot of stress and
Yeah,
that
we have to
makes
choose our
you
battle.
ugly. Yes, so choose the battles, and like you have to think about, like, should I do this, should I not, choose the things, and do the things that make you happy, because that's the secret of being for me it's a gratification. Like, why do I have to spend my precious time with like nonsense or little things, all the small stuff in life. I don't have time for that. There's more to life, than to spending time to
Correct.
little things, or what the people think about you, or what all these the society is thinking or talking about you. I don't care. I don't really care, as long as I don't hurt people. I stay happy, and I stay healthy for myself and for my family. And of course, avoid eating processed food, especially cup noodles, because this is now our trend. Like, we don't like cooking anymore. We don't have time to cook. So even you don't cook, you can actually eat raw
Mm.
vegetables. That's fine. Yes, yes. And raw is really one of the healthiest food you can have. And I managed to eat little rice now. And I try to eat maize, the corn grains,
Correct.
instead of rice, and fish as much as possible. And of course, um, I think the best thing is enough rest, healthy food, and happy disposition. Because you have to be happy. That's anyway our the purpose of life, to
Correct. And
me.
now we know your secret. It's already an open secret why you have a killer buddy. And you are a killer in two-piece. Grabe. So I said,
Yes.
well, Yani has lots of pictures in swimsuit, and swimwear, and I have chosen three of my favorites that are safe, to show in the
Oh,
episode, because some
sure,
some of your
sure.
pictures are really, really provocative, really sexy. So I have to choose the ones which are a little bit teen.
No worries.
You're
You have
such
the
an
permission.
inspiration. You're really such an inspiration, not only to our batchmates, schoolmates, classmates, common friends, and to me
Yes.
especially. So the first time I saw you after 20 years, like the first time I saw you in 20 years, I was really, how do you call this? I was amazed because you still recognize me, even if I already
Of
finished
course. Oh
it.
my God. Who can forget the valedictorian of the batch? Come
Oh,
on.
and then knowing your stature in life right now, the type of reputation that you have established now, you have really gained my respect, really.
Thank you, War. Thank you so much.
For
We have to continue inspiring people. That's the point, you know. We may not have a very beautiful or perfect life, but as long as we know ourselves, and for people out there who are to your subscribers, I hope that with all this crisis that we have individually or globally, we still have to think that life is always wonderful. It's beautiful to live, so never ever neglect your life. Love yourself.
I
Self love.
mentioned it one time yan in one of our conversations that you play different roles, but you're not confused about it. Like if you're in the
Yeah.
office, you are the modern career woman. And then if you're in your
Yes.
house in Pugo, you're the mother, the simple town girl.
Yes, why not?
Honestly.
Yes, exactly. I still cook even. I still cook in a dirty kitchen with all these firewoods. I still climb trees and fruits, and I still crack, like coconuts. And, why change? For me, this is who I am, and I have been being myself, because also one of the most important things to have a comfortable life is to be yourself. You can't live comfortably if you pretend to be someone else. That's very important. So when I in the office in the city, I'm the city girl, well respected. I mean, not to brag, but when I go home, I play with our dogs and cats, and play with my kids, or you know enjoy watching all those plants that my mom is now doing. We have now big garden at home, and I just like look at them. Oh, let's plant this and this and that. Yeah, countryside. Why not? And I can also be, sometimes we have fun, like drink or
Yes.
something. But honestly, I have given up alcohol since 2020, since January of this year. So health wise, so I don't
But
drink
are you
alcohol
still a
anymore.
social drinker or not absolutely anymore?
Not anymore, but I can actually, break my rule for you for one time.
Okay.
Or a toast. But I prefer wines these days. I don't drink beer anymore. So that's
That's
also,
better.
there
That's
are
better.
health benefits for wine. So next time when we meet physically, we can have wine.
Correct.
That's a promise.
Yes, of course. And I have learned from you, Yan, that whatever role we play in this temporary world of ours, we just have to respect ourselves, respect other people, and we'll find peace, right?
Exactly.
That's just
Yeah. And I think we are on the same page. You are a person who respects yourself, and you are a person who also respect other people. And like I said, you also have my respect. I have high respect of you. Who would have thought that we would meet again? Like,
happy.
of course, I'm very good at names, Warren. So
Correct.
it's not just about remembering names. It's about remembering how people, have made you feel in the past. And actually, you make me you made me feel envious when you were the smartest in the batch. I hated you. No, 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 no. It's a joke. I really, really, I was envious in a good way. That I want to be like him. He's so, smart and clever, very quick. Like, how can I be Warren? But we have different,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
life and different minds, and we are all created individually and differently. So we are smart in different ways. But I am very
Yes.
proud that you made it, and now you made it there, exactly the same where you were the valedictorian. You know.
Exactly, and we create our own niche, we have our own comfort zone. But of course, for friendship's sake, we have to sometimes compromise. So that's
Yeah,
good.
sure.
And to before we close this interview, I really hope to see you in your home soon when everything is safe.
You're
And
very much
also to
welcome.
see you in one of the reunions that our batchmates have been organizing and I have been missing.
You're too busy, but we understood. We really understood, and we will always understand,
But
if
I
there
will
are.
make it a point from now on if, again,
Thank you. That would be
give an
great.
invitation soon, soon, soon. And then, my
Yes.
final request is I want you to share to me your experience with the blossoming of the cherry blossoms. Of course, you've been to Japan, one of your top
Ah,
destinations, and it's also my dream to witness the phenomenon, Japanese phenomenon. My subscribers, it's a Japanese phenomenon for them to witness the blossoming of the cherry blossoms. And there's no exact
right.
date, you know. I want you to tell me more about the blossoming of the cherry blossom.
There's no exact date, but mainly it happens in spring. It's April, May, March. It starts in March. There are different place, or they call it prefecture. In our case, we call it different municipality or islands. If it's warmer, it starts early. If it's colder, it starts a little late. Um, it's basically, I lived in Osaka. I experienced 4 years of cherry blossoms and all the snow and all the
So
very, very
envious.
hot. Yeah. I think the best thing you go is in would be April, March, April, because in May it's not so many anymore. And I don't know, spring to me is something that is like, for me, it's a new beginning. Like when flowers blooms, when they start to have their buds and this and that, and witnessing that for the first year, you cannot imagine. I stayed under a cherry blossom tree for a very long time. Like, I just want to look at it.
Oh my goodness.
Very, very
So for
beautiful.
our Filipino subscribers who are planning to go to Japan to witness that, so the safest would be to stay there for 2 to 3 weeks, at least from the later weeks, last 2 weeks of March until mid-April. That's the safest.
Yeah, it could be the best. Yeah, like the last weeks of March and the beginning of April. You can stay there like 2 to 3 weeks maximum, and you can see it. It's different. It actually, they blossom like different times of the year. So anyway, they have their websites, and you can also check it out. They put when it, because the Japanese are very, they know when is this going to happen, like 80 to 90% accurate about it. So you can check the website for cherry blossoms, of course, or just search Japan cherry blossoms this year or next year. Every year is different.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's one of the, for me, like, being there was a dream come true.
Exactly.
And
And your
and being,
Japan adventure will never be complete without witnessing the cherry blossoms.
yes, correct. And there are places that you have to go with all these different species of cherry blossoms. There's a
Wow.
place that you can go. It's in Osaka, and there are like 200 trees, and there are different types of flowers, different sizes of flowers, different colors, and you would just, get amazed, and you mesmerized,
The
like, oh
color,
my
the
God, I want to
color,
live here.
yan, the color yan would range from very light pink to deep pink, or as far
They
as
have white. Yeah, no, they have white,
ah, yan.
light pink. They have deep pink. They even have almost red, and they even
Ah,
have green. They have green.
like the
Like,
flowers,
they're,
green
yes,
flowers.
yes, the green,
Very
green
nice.
cherry blossoms. Very, very beautiful. Like, all range of beautiful colors. Yeah, spring is, I have to say, is my favorite seasons of the year. In, wherever I go, like in Europe as well. They also have beautiful springs, but I think Japan has the most beautiful spring of all the countries I have visited
Yeah.
or I've been to, like very beautiful. Korea, yes, but they don't have as much as Japan. Yes, you should go.
Yeah. You inspire me to really go for it, to really travel soon. Thank you
Yes,
very
yes.
much, Jenny, for making time. I'm really certain you made that time for me.
Anytime, anytime.
Thanks
It's
for
not about
sharing
having
really
time.
the outside and the internal beauty. And thank you. We have learned a lot on the life lessons that you have shared. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I'll see you in
don't
the
forget.
flesh soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Warren, and for all your subscribers, thank you so much. And for those who didn't subscribe yet, then
Please,
click that button there.
like and share.
You
Bye,
stay
guys.
safe.
Thank you.
Bye, War. Stay safe. Love you. Bye bye.
You too.